Okay, you guys, are you ready for some of the Outer Worlds by Sharo? All right, take it away.
How's it going? My name is Sharo, and here on the couch I have Studio and tomatoangus. The G is silent.
Yes.
Funnily enough. And this is the Outer Worlds. I was told that any percent won, which is very surprising.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the...
And Zap Brannigan is the name, right?
How's it spelled?
Yes.
With one P. So I apologize to anybody who actually cares about Futurama like that.
We are not respecting the Lord today.
Yeah, absolutely not. So first things first, we want to make sure our intelligence is below average. It's very, very important. You'll see why. We're going to tag stealth and dialogue. Tagging stealth gives you 40 sneak and 40 lockpick, very important. This aptitude doesn't really matter.
Oh, morphine dispenser.
Let's see.
This is the most important part of the run.
What looks like a Zap Brannigan? That'll do.
Yeah, it's fitting.
And then run starts just after this second cutscene, after this loading screen right here. So timer will start now.
Is this thing working?
So first things first, we're going to be skipping this little bit of dialogue here. And once we land, I have to skip a cutscene. Any cutscene you can hold enter and skip to. You can do it a little early. So the way we have our character set up is perfect because it allows us to have the leap ability, which lets us leap forward, which is very important. It helps just a smidgen faster than actually running forward. And we're on Emerald Vale right now. We need to make it to our ship, which is part of the main story. We're going to find out that we need a power regulator for the ship to take off. And this game is pretty similar to Fallout 3 in that a lot of the movement tech, there isn't really too much. It's mostly just optimizing the perfect line, kind of like GoldenEye or Perfect Dark. Unfortunately, I messed up a jump right there.
The AI here is random, so
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
marauders can come in and just block your path. I'll also say damage is not a huge threat in this game at most parts because there's such high tenacity from the build that Sharo will regain most of his HP as he's getting shot, more or less.
Yeah. So that's part of the build that we use. We also use certain skills to give us HP per second. We have the maximum HP per second during combat and out of combat. So here we're going to talk to Ada.
Help, please. Well, but
We're going to level up. We're going to grab the movement speed perk.
You know who voices Ada is Nora from Fallout 4.
Yeah, Courtney Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah. She also voices a couple other characters in this game.
Additionally, that ship is skippable, but getting that experience let us level up and get the perk that increases sprint speed, which we are sprinting the entire game because it's fast.
Right. Yeah. So if you've played this game before, you know that I normally go to Edgewater, which is the first major city in the game, and that's where you get your first quest. But I'm actually going to go to Geothermal, which is part of the quest, so that way I have a fast travel location to it, which will actually come out about 10 seconds faster than going to Edgewater and then to Geothermal.
Runs for this game also use in-game time instead of load screens. For this live run, we also skip a couple load screens, I believe, by doing this route.
Yeah, so one of the items we'd end up picking up in Geothermal would be a movement speed increase item. It gives you about 20% movement speed. And we would end up duplicating that, which you'd have to go through a lot of load screens to duplicate that. And when you stack that item, it doesn't just stack the movement speed. It doesn't do that at all. It actually stacks the duration. So you could end up with several hours worth of movement speed if you really wanted it.
This is the first of 2 times we'll visit Edgewater, I believe.
Yeah. We'll come back right after Geothermal.
Are you going to appreciate the music? great.
So here we're going to go ahead and accept that quest, but sadly we're not going to take Parvati with us. Because she'd just get in the way and keep me in combat when I don't really want to be in combat. Here we're going to shoot this barrel and kill the one enemy we only kill in the entire run.
I think pacifist runs add a whole 20 seconds to this already tight run.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot.
So in this section, we need to turn geothermal back on, and that lets you get the power regulator as part of the main storyline. It's required to leave the planet. And Sharo's running through right now and just hitting those switches one by one to turn them on, despite being shot by many robots.
Yeah, nothing in this run's really that lethal until you get to Byzantium, which is not too far away.
Until you get to the end game, which is about 3 minutes or 4 minutes away at this point, because of how short the run is. This is all optimized for lines, though, where you have to try and find the shortest path. Unfortunately, there is a random chance that Sharo just ran into for bots to align with you, and then they become your allies, but also block your path entirely.
The bots in here are so annoying.
Yeah, so I had to actually kill that bot because whenever I come out of here, I'm leaving to drop aggro with all the enemies. And whenever I re-enter, for whatever reason, that bot will be my enemy whenever I come back in here, even though I dropped aggro with all the other bots. So I had to kill him.
And the reason you need to drop aggro is using the console requires you to be out of combat, because I can understand being shot at while using the computer is probably difficult.
Make sure I do the right options there.
All right, with that, Edgewater no longer has power. I think this was 10 hours into my first playthrough.
About to
It's quite
say.
a while for me, too.
Yeah. A lot of pondering over who to side with.
It was easy for me.
So I'm going to go ahead and level up Intimidate to 25 right here. It's very, very important because I'm going to talk down the leader of this place, who I talked to earlier.
I mean, we spent a lot of time killing him, which just resulted in everybody getting angry at us. And realized if we just spend 4 seconds talking to him, it saves about a minute of running around and dodging enemies that are angry that we shot somebody in the head, which is understandable. I think we now have the regulator. We now go back to the ship. This is one of the reasons you can't take Parvati is she would actually talk to you here in like 1 cell of the run.
Yeah, there's actually a way you can skip that is if you grab Parvati whenever you enter Edgewater after shutting off the power. Which I don't know if they've routed in the max quest yet. I don't even know if it's save time.
That is the annoying slowdown that you take every time you jump off.
Yeah.
It's always annoying. And that is the first planet done.
Yep. I have a much bigger mouse pad at home, so this is
The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain.
So I guess for the overall route, like it's fairly straightforward in that we need to hit the story beats until we can kind of crack the run open.
yeah.
So all of Edgewater, it's actually by the book outside of just the optimization. So going to Groundbreaker here will just let us get out to Byzantium extremely quickly, which lets fun things happen. Fun, very, very fast things.
I picked up this weird signal the other day.
So here you actually have to probably grind up some money by doing quests, and instead of doing that, I'm actually just going to take this item directly from this lady. I didn't get caught, which is good. And I'm
Hide
going
behind the
to,
safe.
yeah.
Yeah, we tried pickpocketing that safe from the front, but like you have to kill the room to do that without getting caught. So we just look at the back of the safe and kind of reach our arms back there to crack it open. Looting that safe lets us talk to, I forgot his name. I always call him the
Udon.
mustache guy. He's the preview
Yeah,
clip for this run.
you're on Bedford.
And lets us return the seal that was stolen from him so we can actually side with him. And we just agreed to turn in Phineas, which is very, very mean of us.
We are now
Yeah,
in possession
absolutely.
of Byzantium, Captain.
So now we're pretty deep into the story right now, and we're going to be doing our only major, there's a sequence break, so don't blink or you'll miss it.
Yeah.
So is this upcoming sequence break a glitch?
I would call this a developer oversight.
Yeah, that's what I'd call it too.
And it's a fun one because they put in a small little kind of bit of flavor in how a character interacts with you when you break into this area in the normal playthrough. So here's Percival. Gonna pickpocket him from the front. He notices because he's looking at you, and then he opens a door that skips half the game. So huge shout outs to the Outer Worlds speedrunning community in the Discord, because they spent, I think, weeks trying to figure out how to go out of bounds, how to skip, break into that room just by brute forcing it. When it turns out Percival is scripted to open the door for you, because he will follow behind you if you enter the room normally and open the door and ask, hey, what are you doing breaking into the chairman of this galaxy's office? Which is a good question. And instead, he opens it for you because he's not scripted to ever be there, and pickpocketing kind of breaks that logic.
Actually, a lot of time spent in this run is during elevators, which is unlucky.
A lot of time coming up is going to be waiting for an elevator.
Yeah.
And this part coming up is like the real scary combat part of the run, if you want to call it that, because we're going to have to call an elevator. We're going to be going downstairs to a lab, but we have to wait for the elevator to come up to us, and there's a bunch of enemies nearby. So we're going to be running around, popping a lot of inhalers to try and survive while we wait.
These are late game enemies too.
Yes, absolutely the most lethal part of the run. You'll reset a lot here if you're grinding.
Ooh.
It's unfortunate. I'll do it a couple more times, but I have a backup in case things don't go my way.
The AI here is once again not 100% consistent. You can almost get one shot by some enemies at this point, and Sharo has to not only survive, but he has to get by these guys who block quite hard.
Yeah, they love blocking that.
Oh, I think that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome job. That's a really, really tough part when you're learning to run.
We get another pleasant elevator ride.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't quick save and quick load during this elevator, one of those guards will bug out and talk to you through the floor, through the wall, through anything. You just make sure that you're doing all right.
Yeah, it actually, like, the game doesn't break. He just talks to you as you ride the elevator away from him, and it's very nice. And additionally, the reason he went to that side room was to pick up a cartridge for the disguise that let him run through this area.
What do you think? You think I should let him live or die?
Die.
I'm gonna say live. I'd let him die. It's faster.
They also make a very gross noise.
It's all about saving the frames.
Yeah, of course.
You mash 1111 instead of 1112, and that one's easier to do. So that's like a super late game quest. That is the resource to revive people that have been cryogenically frozen, which is what happened with our main character, Zap Brannigan.
So during that thing, during Percival, I actually skipped the entirety of Monarch. So we actually never have to go to Monarch, which is a pretty major planet, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say that's where like the bulk of the gameplay actually is when you play casually.
Yeah, that's definitely like the end game zone.
Like, you only visit one planet in this entire run, and then I guess 3 spaceships.
Hello? Can you hear me? I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing, I said. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've...
So this is preempting us for the final quest before the end game of the game. And this dialogue's unskippable, and it's very, very annoying, but also very relaxing.
Yeah.
It's one of like, I think 3 that are like that.
It's like one of the first dialogues, one of the last dialogues, and this middle dialogue.
Also, during some dialogues like that, Sharo, he like positions his mouse in a certain spot, so then when he pulls up his map afterward, he doesn't have to actually move the mouse as far to fast travel to places.
Yeah, there's actually not a lot of hotkeying in the menus, so it's all about fast mouse movements, but it's all fairly precise because the UI's got a lot going on in it. So it's very easy to misclick, and any quarter of a second you can save is worth it.
So looking down here actually saves a little bit of time because it starts lagging pretty bad whenever you load in there. And we're actually at the final stretch of the game.
I think I missed that computer that you have to press 2 buttons on like 4 or 5 times during runs. The disguise from the Byzantium actually works here, which is why he's able to just kind of run on through. And there's just enough time to maybe not run out of a stealth meter, which should hopefully
Yeah,
avoid some
sure.
dialogue.
Can you hear me, Captain?
I know a lot of people get caught by that bot, but if you jump, you actually don't get caught at all.
And I'm attempting to establish contact with the host.
Lessons from the record holder.
For now.
This is our last elevator ride.
Yes.
To play a mood-suitable music
What a ride it's been.
I suppose this is a good time to say the website and donations are back on, so woohoo! Keep those donations coming, and thanks for your patience.
the host computer up ahead.
So Zap Brannigan really is an idiot because instead of letting the robots handle all the calculations for where to send the ship, he does it himself. And he puts it in quite a peculiar place.
What an epic, beautiful moment.
Yes. Hope.
Oh, that's time, by the way. Yeah, I had a much more generous estimation because I thought one of the other endings was going to get in, but
Picking up my slack.
yeah, making up for the Angus run. And there you go. Instead of saving everybody from your original colony ship, you go down with them. And there's the end.
Awesome job, Sharo. Awesome job.
So I just wanted to thank GDQ for having me. I want to thank these guys for talking most of the time, because I probably would have been lost in the sauce. And I'd like to shout out my boys in the Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Sharo. Thank you so much for that very quick but also very fast run. Coming up next, we have Doom Sigil. And then after that, we have a Medieval. And following up that, we have even more Doom. So great PC block coming up. You're going to want to stick around for that. We've got some speed categories. We've got some any percent out of bound categories. Lots of fun stuff coming up. Don't go anywhere. All right, I have a few donations. We have 50, I know, donations. Who would have thought? We have $15 from the mailman who says, Phineas, the best person to stop cancer, so this goes towards saving him. Ah, well, it went by so fast. We have $25 from Deputy Toaster who says, I almost cried when I heard you guys are playing my favorite games of all time. I love you guys, and I think what you do is awesome. I think you're awesome, Deputy Toaster. Thank you so much. We have $100 from Ghost42 who says, hey all, donating this in honor of my dad who passed away in March due to pancreatic cancer. Let's keep fighting for your future without cancer. Shout outs to everyone in the Rolling Start Discord. Thank you so much, Ghost42. We appreciate it. We have $25 from Stinky Bean who says, my brother introduced me to GDQ about 6 years ago, and it has been amazing seeing this event grow every single year. I love you all, and go fast. Thank you so much, you guys, for those donations. Like we said, the donations are working just great, so make sure to get those in. We do have some upcoming bid wars. We have for Doom Sigil, we have a soundtrack choice, either Jimmy Midi or Buckethead MP3. Right now, Jimmy Midi is winning by just the slightest of margins, and I'm assuming that's going to be closing pretty quickly, so make sure to get your donations in for that if you want one or the other of those to win. After that, we do have a name bid war for Pokemon Sapphire. All of those, all of that info is also available on the website for you. So if you want to take a look before you donate and put your money towards something that you care about, that would be amazing. Okay, everyone, we have a very special $3,000 donation. This is from Obsidian Entertainment, which is the maker of the game we just saw. We at Obsidian want to thank the GDQ community for all of the good they've done for charity over the years. And thank you, Sharo, for running through the Outer Worlds this year. Good luck. We're watching at the office now. Be incredible. It was incredible. Thank you so much, Obsidian. Let's give them another hand. $3,000 is so generous. Okay, everybody, it's been short but sweet, but I'm going to be taking off. It's been wonderful hanging out with all of you, and before I go, I'm going to throw it off to a Twitch ad. It's going to be a very short break, so don't go anywhere.